this particular vineyard, we're trying to grow to the very highest quality we possibly can. It's already at that level, so we need to maintain that level. So what we're trying to do is to minimise the impact on the vine. Anything radical that we're doing, such as cutting it off severely, will change that balance, and it'll take a few years to get back to that. That's been our main driver, is that whatever we do in the vineyard, we're trying to minimise the impact, and whatever we do is a subtle reaction from the vine. We've been looking at Eutypa for probably the last 3 or 4 years. We've known it's been in the vineyard. We've had to alter our pruning a little bit. 2 years ago we decided to put a team in and start cutting out the worst of it, the dead arm or the unproductive arm, and if we had a cane we'd wrap that on and replace it. Slowly we gained a little bit of production back, but we weren't fighting the disease. The disease was still there, so we had to do something a bit more radical. This year is the first year where we've decided to change our operations and how we deal with the Eutypa. We've cut a bit more of the vine out as opposed to just the dead arm. We've actually cut both arms out and run a new wire, which it's been done quite commonly before, and it's actually called a retrellis situation. Remedial surgery is the other side of it. We've chosen 20% of the Shiraz this year to do it to. It's about 7,500 vines. So it's enough to give us an idea of if we're going along the right track or whether we have to change. Eventually, if we do 20% every year, 5 years' time, we'll actually have done the whole lot. And I think that's probably a pretty feasible plan. And we may do a bit more as we go through. We may change a few things, fine-tune, just to see if that fruit's still going to be as good as it was prior to cutting the cordon off. We'd also like to experiment a bit with cane pruning. We could easily adapt that with the retrellis situation. All those things we've kind of thought about and planned, and this is the year when hopefully we'll be looking at it this time next year to see if what we've done has worked. I don't think Eutypa is anything new. I think we've all become a lot more aware of it because our yields have declined. They've declined at such a rapid rate that people have finally got out into the vineyards and investigated why we did that exactly, and we realised there's so much unproductive wood that we needed to do something. And the ongoing focus for Eutypa is certainly going to intensify over the next probably 10 or 20 years. Probably every year we're going to need to build in a Eutypa program, an eradication program, and that may be as simple as just cutting out dead material and taking it away from the vineyard and burning it, spraying after pruning with protective sprays. It might be helping the soil a little bit, helping the vine, just to give it a bit more vigour, give it a bit more resilience to fight the disease. So all these things are just a focus on Eutypa, and I think that's the key message for everybody in the industry who's dealing with it. It's just to be aware and to build something in that will minimise it. It's here to stay, and there's not going to be a magic bullet to sort all this out. It's a check on, hey, we've got to do something here. We've got to go back to what we used to do, and you know, a lot of the Barossa growers remember their grandfathers talking about stuff and what they used to deal with, and it's the same. We just sort of, we're in this frenzy of planting where we kind of forgot all the stuff, and there's so many more different people involved in viticulture as well, from the absentee owner to a commercial like Taylor's and you know, an experienced viticulturalist like Colin being able to, you know, keep their ship floating. That's the key, and hopefully the industry will stay afloat too, so we can have the returns to sustain. Yeah.